so I'm back with the first day of the conference, the second day in Singapore. And the reason that I want to do that video is like I really like that conference, and I want to make it at a memorable experience. So by doing that video, I'm doing self-reflection, so I can see what excites me, what inspires me, and what I want to share back with my teammate back home. So for the first day of conference, I'm really excited, like really excited. This is like a small fish that swim into the big ocean, the whole new world, and you are being inspired about that. And this is the kind of like the mind blowing thing, like to be in a conference with hundreds, 300 of people, and we all speak the same language, even though we don't come from the same country. We just kind of like it feel like somehow coming back to the Isaac conference before, but like even with the knowledge of all the knowledge I absorbed today, is even more than Isaac conference that I joined before. So for the conference, what I really want to say is like it's an unmissable conference. If you ever had a chance, go for it. And if you don't have a chance, find a chance. I don't know, like find a chance. You need to go. It's gonna give you mind blowing things, and you will never ever remember, like forget it. So, but yeah, conference could be very scary and boring for people. It can be interesting. Like I am excited now, but it can be also very boring and scary to anyone who don't know how to open it. So for the conference, all experience gonna happen. Good experience gonna happen if you embrace it. And by embrace it, I mean you need to go to the conference with the open-minded and the open eyes. Don't go with bias. Don't judge people. Instead, welcome people. Normally, people who go to the conference is a very friendly and um, outgoing, and they're ready. They're really willing to talk to you in any aspect of even like advertising or even outside that. I do make friends with a lot of people, and we talk about lots of things. So go and make friends with people. And the last things of the conference that I really feel that I find in modern people like the scary of talking to strangers. So the part here is like talking to strangers can be scary, but it also can be interesting experience. So how to make it interesting? If you if you find a person that you want to talk to, go to talk to them. I mean, go to talk to them, make a small talk. It can be something similar, like easy, simple, like if they have just delivered a speech and you are like happen to say in that speech, just go give them a pat on the shoulder and saying like, "Hey, I really like the talk," and just keep discussing about that, nurturing the conversation. So there's gonna be two things that might happen. The first, like you and that person have the chemistry, and you find the conversation just keep flowing, and it's a good thing. You can make friends, you can get a lot of interesting things from the conversation. But if unfortunately, sadly, you guys don't have the chemistry and they don't want to talk to you or anything, or you just don't know how to nurture the conversation, so just let it go. I mean, people gonna, how to say, people people not gonna remember you, like honestly, people not gonna remember you. They meet hundreds of people in life, and if you're not like impress them, they're not gonna remember you anyway. So don't worry about making embarrassing things. No worry, just come and talk. And even if you make a quite stupid questions, so what? You are going back to your home country, and there's nothing gonna happen later after that. So anyway, I see all of my lame talk about the conference, and based on my experience, my suggestion about how you could go to the conference and enjoy it. About my first day in the conference, for me, if I have to find a word to sum up all of the day in the first day, all of the thing in the first day, it should be to find your own voice and build your attitude toward conference. The reason why I say that is like the first day is very important day of of the conference. So don't ever think like you're gonna have 3 days of the conference. So if you are wasting one day, you still have 2 more days. And the first day, just like for you to really stay in the comfort zone of yourself, it's totally wrong. But trust me, I mean, I have been into many conferences enough to say that. So if you ever hide yourself and stay in the corner for the first day, you and you will never go out of that in the next 2 days because you are so used to that. I meet so many people who are just kind of like stick with their groups and never go out to talk to other people. That happens quite a lot. So for the first day, when people are really fresh, there's no connection that had been made yet. All of the group is still willing to get into more people. Go and talk to them, make friends, build your group, and you're gonna be comfortable with that. It's gonna help you to set the mood, set the expectation for the rest of the conference. Trust me, the first day of the conference is a valuable chance that you really need to make it. So for the first day of the conference, I I had a really good experience, a good start with the Young Digital Academy class. So John, if you are watching that video, I just want to say thank you for organizing that section of teaching us how to really do a networking, how to shake hands, how to welcome people, how to make a small talk, how to just to be confident, how to look at each other's eye and kind of like talk, basically talk. And so yes, thank you, John. That's helped me a lot for the whole conference in the whole conference thing. So what excites me? Okay, I really write that thing down because if I write thing down, then I have it. So anyway, so what excites me the most is we have the AR, VR, and MR talk. So if you don't know, then VR means virtual reality, AR means augmented reality, and MR means mixed reality. That really excites me. The thing is about that is it is feel like you bring magic into your life. It's a technology, and technology bring magic. So by if you don't know, then VR is like virtual reality. It can come in the very simple, simple tool like the Google Card box, which means like you have the card box and you put your phone into that and you can see, and you have the app that can really make you a virtual reality, and or it can be go up into something like the Samsung VR glass. So by wearing that VR glass, you are being transferred into a new world. I mean, like not literally, but yeah, virtually transfer into a new world where you can see it's 360-degree movie, shorter clips, so that you can really like look at things and then you feel like you are in that place, even though you are still in your in the current place, like you are not moving anywhere, but you feel like that. And the AR augmented reality is done very successfully by IKEA. So if you have seen the catalog of IKEA, you're gonna have a catalog and you're gonna have the mobile phone with the app of IKEA. And whenever you want to find a product in that catalog and you want to see like how it's gonna fit in your house, how it's gonna be look like, either it's gonna fit with other items or fit with the style of your own house, but you don't really want to store. You don't want to really go to the store to check it out, or you don't really want to buy it and then fit it there and then to see. So you don't want it. So you eat that catalog. So is it really like it's really a simple thing that you put the catalog in the place that you want to put the item, the table, the chairs, and then you use the app. And by holding the apps on that things like that, on that catalog like that, you're gonna see on the screen a table or a chair that come like directly from the catalog. So isn't that amazing? I mean, it happen only in your mobile phone, and you can bring anything that you like into the real life without bringing it physically into the place. And the last one is mixed reality. So by mixed reality, is it the combination of VR and some other magical thing. I mean, you can imagine something like you are still in the current place. You know that you are in the current in that place, the real world, but then you have another world that is integrated into your new world, and it just kind of like really mind blowing things. Something you can imagine is like Pokemon Go, for example. Pokemon Go is somehow a mixed reality. So you can see it's still your current world, but then you have the Pokemon here, which is coming from another world and that integrated with each other. But this is the very basic, the very simple form of mixed reality. People are going even beyond that. So that two world is really interact with each other. For example, you can see a Pokemon might be in the future, like the Pokemon coming up from how to say, like jumping from the window, like through the window and things. So it's like they interact with each other. Isn't that a cool thing? And what I'm thinking of now is like if we are thinking about more laws, so more law is like saying the power of computers gonna be double every year um, since the date of the invention date. So if we agree on the more laws, which means the power of the computers are increasing like unimaginably. And if that day coming, we can imagine someday that we can bring the world of magic movie and things into real. And isn't that scary? Like that exciting, but yeah, it's scary. How are we gonna do with it? How are we gonna deal with a world where we don't really know like what it it's a mixed reality, like two all integrate to each other, and wow, it just kind of mind blowing thing. I don't know how to say it. Yes, it's a really exciting. And the second thing that the section that I feel really like is the decoding innovation. So you can see always like from the movies, from the Batman, creative idea come from nowhere. Like it's come from lots of sleepless night, a lot of coffee, and a lot of alcohol, and a lot of cigarette. And it just kind of like in the moment you got the pop just lighten up like that, and your idea just come out of nowhere. It come into life, and it's a brilliant idea. But that guy, that man who is the founder of the Mindscape, he actually really find a tool to. He actually find all of that innovation, creativity does have a pattern, and he developed a tool to decode it, to know, to have it to approach all of the challenge, all of the creative challenge in a new way, and all of it be systemized, and can be applied for everyone. So because we are in the very short section, so we don't have much time to go through all of the cool tools that he find, that he developed. But we go through the three main tools, which is the first one is like dynamic. That's what he called dynamic connection. By dynamic connection, he means like we connect things. We connect the things that have never been connected before. So, for example, of the thing that he take the example is like, is it the performance, the program in London, I think, as I remember, in London. So is it the comedy? And normally when you come to the comedy, you have to pay for that before you get into the comedy performance. But by in that shows, you get into the comedy performance without paying anything yet. But you have a screen in front of you. So whenever you smile, the screen gonna detect you and laugh, not smile. The screen gonna detect like how many times you laugh. And the money that you have to pay gonna be equivalent to the number of time that you have laughed. So what they're doing here now, they connect two things, the price and the laugh. We had never been connected before, and that shows were successful shows in UK, and people love it. People feel excited about that, and it keeps moving on. It keeps spreading for the whole, like around the world. The second tool that he developed is which is called relocating. So by relocating, we can see a lot of things like that. For example, like the swiping thing of donating money. That whenever you swipe, you can see that you are actually slice a bread, or just kind of like cutting the rope for people and kind of like saving people. And the other example that he's taking is like the penny tactics one. And the third tool that he developed is calling assigning new tasks, and that is a very interesting tactics. So assigning new tasks. If you ever heard about the Brutrolium, Brutrolium is using that tool to like create a new challenge or create a new idea. So Brutrolium is the campaign for a beer called DB. That beer has faced the challenge of the decrease in the number of beer consumption. People don't want to drink beer anymore. So how can we tell people to drink more beer? And what they come up is very smart things way. So they tell people that um, go drinking beer is saving the world. And how can they do that? They actually use all the material left in the process of producing beer, in brewing beer, to produce a kind of like the petroleum. So they call it brew petroleum. So by drinking beer, you mean you have to produce more petroleum, and by producing more petroleum, that's what really difficult to say. I mean, that's it difficult. So by producing that, you are having to save the world because you're not using gas anymore. You're using a very like eco-friendly material fuel to for your vehicle. So by drinking beer, you have to save the world basically. Isn't that a good thing? That campaign won a lot of spike award in 2016, and I myself personally like really feel fascinated about that. How smart is that to really link drinking beer and saving the world, like assigning a new task to that material which is supposedly to be just thrown away. So they're assigning a new task, they bring it to life, and they turn it into the very big campaign, big concept that can change the whole world, that can change the whole beer industry situation. Isn't that smart thing? And the third part is a talk of the guys coming from head of brand strategy, Rohan, head of brand strategy in Twitters. So he say about like how to awe people. That is really interesting topic. Like how can we awe people? How can brand impress others? What is the last time that you feel awe about anything? So by awe, he means if you want to really awe people, you have to break the rule. And the second thing, we need to understand that the all thing is the noun. That's very example like the very example of that is the Oreo one. The Oreo in the Super Bowl campaign last time when the whole when they just have a tweet and it's gonna be retweeted like 100,000 times later. Um, yeah, but that talk is really still have a lot of things that I need to might be like ask him later to clarify, like how to if that all thing come from the concept or the all thing come from the visually, or if it all thing because based on his talk a lot of all thing is just video. So either the video is the most effective way to do to our consumer, or we can come up with a new concept or a new format and things. They still have a lot of room to play with in that digital world in any way rather than just video and visual. So yeah, that's a really thought provoking section. And what I really like is like if you want to sell that product, sell that idea to consumer, because normally when you are people, similar idea is like the McDonald's and the Burger King campaign that also won a Spike Award. How can you sell that idea to client? How can client accept to do a risky things like that campaign? Because normally any campaign that can all consumer is a risky campaign. So we ask that questions, and what he answers is like you have to build trust in client first. So slowly do the campaign that you feel client feel most comfortable with, and then you gain trust from client, and until some certain date of your life, client gonna trust you enough to let you do that. I believe that too. So let's see. What excites me again? We did have a party on that day, so it's happened in every conference. Like after a very hardworking and kind of like mind blowing discussion, we just come into the party and really party hard. So that day I went to a party of JWT with people, and we have the very good performance of Kurt and Sam Street. I was in the front row, and I was never ever like close to Kurt like that. It's like he was there. He was like 2 meters away from me, just in front of me, and he looks cute. I mean, okay, it's my fangirl mode again, but he looks cute. I mean, I really like him. What else? I met quite a lot of interesting people in that day. Not only people from my class, which is cool people already. I also met quite a cool man from the Singapore, Germany Chamber of Commerce. So we just like randomly start with the questions of what are you drinking, and then we talk about the drink. We talk about like how to find a good drink, which is the purified drink, and how do you know that it's a good wine or the bad wine thing. And then we turn into the conversation of the industry, of the media, and then we turn into the conversation of Singapore economies. So it's like it just happened. It's happened in the most drunken stage of my party, and we just kind of like keep talking about anything. We also talking about like how Vietnamese people are aggressive and things. Yeah, we did have a quite like heating debate about that. That was cool. I really like it, and I really like making friends with people, to talk to people, talking to people, to see people perspective about things is a really amazing thing. And whenever you talk to someone, you feel like, I don't know how to say, time is well spent. Time is very much well spent. Yeah. So I guess we also have a session about building your career in the company. This come from the talk of the German guy as well, and but I don't really feel like interesting thing anything about like interested in the topic as well as he talk. I mean, he basically suggests people to stay in the company. So the more you stay, the more value that you can have for the company, and then you can build reputation with the company and things. But what I mean is like, I totally agree that the more you stay, the more values that you can build for yourself, and you can get out the reputation with the whole industry rather than just like jumping from company to company after every year. But it's like, my point is, you need to know when to move on. So whenever I get into a new company, because I was always thinking about grass on the other side is always greener. So I'm a very much an opportunity chaser. So before getting into Match, for example, my current company, I really make a promise with myself, like I'm gonna stay here for 3 years, and in 3 years I'm gonna get that skill set. I'm gonna sharpen my skill set, that skill set. I'm gonna meet that person. I'm gonna build that network, and I'm gonna achieve that position. So I really set a rule for myself and a milestone to achieve that. And after 2 years and a half, I'm gonna review it again. Like maybe after 1 year, 2 years, I'm gonna review it again to see whether I'm already achieving it, or I still want to learn more or anything, so that I can see when I should move on. And moving on is not a bad thing. Changing job is, in some extent, is a good thing, because you are not going to stay in the comfort zone anymore. The more you stay in one company, the more you are reluctant to move on, move out of your comfort zones. So it's like the question here is like when to move on and how to really make an experience in a company with it. That is the thing that I really think that people need to think about. So that's it for the first day. I'm excited. And yes, I am excited to see tomorrow what's gonna happen. And yes, um, well, I mean, yeah, okay, that's kind of funny. Like I don't know how to say. I'm just kind of excited about Spy Guys here, and all of the cool people I meet, all of the classmates, all of the people that just kind of like randomly make a short talk, and all of the information that I have chance to expose to, and all of that is just like building a whole experience that I would never ever forget in my life. Okay, so let's see tomorrow what's gonna happen and how I can make the most out of it. Yes, bye.